All right, welcome back on the show. And moving on this morning, I told you earlier that we'll be taking a look at the incessant power grid collapse nationwide. Within the weekend, there was total blackout almost all over the country due to the national grid collapse. And I have a guest joining me virtually, the Honorable Commissioner for Mining and Energy at those states, Jericho Inakolo. Good morning, Honorable Commissioner.
Good morning, my friend.
All right, good to have you on the show this morning.
Same here.
Okay, before we start, let me just read through a line or two of what I have here. Now, across Nigeria, which experienced another round of blackout on Saturday during the weekend as the national electricity power grid crashed to 70.60 megawatts around 4 p.m. It marked the 7th time the national grid would collapse in the year 2024. Emphasis, 7th time. The previous collapse were on February 4th, April 10th, April 15th, March 11th, March 12th, March 28th, 2024. It seemed like it's a normal scenario was seeing incessant grid collapse causing total blackouts to Nigerians. We're passing through so much already as a people in this nation. Staying without electricity for days, it's something that is worrisome to a whole lot of Nigerians. Could there be any reasons behind this incessant grid collapse at the national level?
Yes, you know, a lot of the genstores, a lot of upgrading and expansion is taking place.
Okay.
And yeah, a lot of new developers are coming in. And the market is open now for investors because of the new electricity policy. So the new electricity act expands the market for people to reach out more, and the customers are ready to get the power. But a lot of genstores are also willing to sell, and because of the new norm, new development, new market structure, everybody wants to expand, cover more space. So what is happening at the national grid is not new. A lot of issues will come definitely, but you see the way the response from the federal government and the way they went ahead and restored the grid as soon as the information went viral. But one thing is sure is that the electricity market have come to stay. We'll see more success ahead of us, especially this period. We'll see more success. We'll have new development. We'll have new results because a lot of private sectors are coming in and states are taking over the space as well. And because of that, I believe that if you just give this federal government some few years from now, 2-3 years from now, you will see some improvement from every side. I'm too sure for the power sector that the federal government and the president is doing so much to open up that space. The policy implementation is taking wave everywhere. As I speak to you now, states like the states and those states, they now have their own state-owned disco.
Okay.
And those states also on the line. You know, our new policy, our new law already ready for us, and we're opening up the space again for more expansion. Yeah.
All right.
So just more expansion, expect more success ahead. But for the national grid, for the collapse, normal expansion is taking place. A lot of infrastructure and going to the grid. So a lot of things will happen within the system. But it's just a matter of few times the market will be stable.
Okay, we will definitely come to that part of states trying to generate their own electricity for the consumption of their own state. Now, when it was the National Electric Power, that's NEPA, or National Electric Power Authority as it was then, before it was a defunct NEPA to PHCN, Power Holding Company of Nigeria, then it fell down to discos, what we have. We were actually thinking when this private sector comes on board at the discos level, it actually make it more efficient and affordable to run. Because we saw the telecommunication industry, when they collapse it and we have different telecommunication networks, it's easier for you to access more better than when we had the old method of them where you have to go and queue somewhere to make calls. Don't you think the people are disappointed with the continuous incessant grid collapse just in a year, within 6 months, 7th time. That means it collapsed once in a month and twice in one other month. So don't you feel it's disappointing that even the private sector that are supposed to be running this, they are not doing efficiently well?
No, it's not disappointing. I told you expansion is taking place. A lot of infrastructure are going in.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of time. The thing will be stable. I assure you that. And for the disco, before now, the Electricity Act was not ready for implementation. So that's why you see some of the discos, they were being entitled and they were not doing so much. They can't cover the space. And because of that, the infrastructure they inherited, some of them were already bad. They couldn't do any infrastructure, invest more into the infrastructure part of the investment. And because of that, it was difficult for them to reach out to a number of Nigerians. But now, with the new Electricity Act, with the new investors and new system that the federal government have put in place, I believe that in a short period of time, most of these anomalies will be corrected, and some of these generating companies will now have a new updated infrastructure that will sustain the power sector. And new companies are also coming in to support them with the new renewable energy also coming from the other side. I believe Nigeria will experience a better Nigeria from the power sector few years from now. But I believe so much in the federal government in terms of power right now, and the policies and the implementation. The Honorable Minister is doing so much to make sure that implementation takes place. The NEC are also supporting.
Okay, last week, because the president himself described this situation that we are still generating 4.5 thousand megawatts as shameful. That was what the president called it last week during one of his outings. Now we're seeing countries moving away from megawatts to gigawatts to terawatts, but we're still struggling with megawatts, a country of more than 250 million citizens, that even some areas you can't boast of stable electricity for 5 hours in a day uninterrupted, like the area where I stay in this city now.
The problem is not the generation.
Okay. So what is the problem?
And infrastructure. All right. So
okay.
For example, I will use Edo as a case study now for you to understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If we go to our some of our transmission plants and areas in Edo, for example, the one in Okpila, we discovered that we have enough power, but the BEDC are not taking those power because of their state of collection, and some of the infrastructure they are supposed to send those power to are not ready. All right, some of them maybe they are not okay, they are not fit to receive power, and some of those collections and depth and theft, electricity theft put together, they are scared to receive and distribute. But with the new policy now, all right, some of those infrastructure, some investors will come and take it up. All right, some investors will take it on part of the state to say, okay, for example, Edo North Electricity Company can be in charge of Edo North to handle the infrastructure. The problem is not the generation actually. The problem is the distribution. So what federal government have done so far now is to open up space for both transmission, distribution, and generation. So this is a new development, and you expect the market to be unstable for a while. So between now to the end of this first administration, I believe we will upgrade from that megawatt to a higher one. But for now, just believe me that the power sector in Nigeria is taking a new shape. And I assure you that just give this administration a few times, a new development and new success will be recorded.
Okay, let's go down to the state level. Does each state government at their various levels have the capacity to generate, transmit, and distribute for the citizens to consume? Does the state government have that exclusive power to do that? If they do, what is stopping them from doing it in order for the citizens in their state? Because the truth is, without electricity, some businesses cannot survive. Let's be honest with it. Without electricity, I don't feel you will be sitting down comfortably in your office right now. Without electricity, I won't be here in the studio transmitting for everybody to see. So what can the states at their various levels do to generate for themselves and distribute within their territory?
Okay, before now, state cannot, but now state can. Just a year interval. Listen, the state government led by the able and able governor Obaseki opened up the market space in Nigeria. 2022, July 22nd, Obaseki came out with the state policy for electricity development. And it gave us a template to say, let's put it together. A state can generate power. First, let's generate power that will take care of our state infrastructure and critical infrastructure in the state. Because at that time, the electricity bill was not passed. So with the space we have in the law, we're able to extract that particular portion out and have our own generating company, which is Oshiomon. As I speak to you now, this is 24 hours live in my office. Not just here. Oshiomon have now moved from servicing the state and critical infrastructure. Now they have gone to the third party, including the palace of our king, the Oba of our royal Oba, is serviced by Oshiomon. All the major infrastructure, all the major houses in GRA area are serviced by Oshiomon. Down to the Uniben area, close to the Uniben, are serviced by Oshiomon. A lot of hotels around the neighborhood are serviced by Oshiomon. Before now, it's not possible. But Buhari, the former president, passed this law. They hand over it to this current president, and this one is implementing it, and state government are taking over. So we now have state law before the new electricity law as a state. But now we are amending our law. We have amended our law to the new market. We gave state power to generate and transmit. Now, Obaseki didn't stop there. We set up two different committees that will take care of the other sources that we can generate power from, apart from the hydro, apart from the gas to power project, and supporting our distro. Now, we now have a renewable energy committee taking care of the renewable energy sector. So far, we have generated about 7 megawatts. Axis, they are using their own. Aduwawa, we just launched out 1 megawatt plus.
Honorable Commissioner, sir, sorry for cutting you. If you should mention Aduwawa, I don't know what is happening, because that is the axis I stay. And for the past 3-4 days.
Next week, we are commissioning the Aduwawa mini grid project.
Okay, where is it located in Aduwawa?
It's in between Aduwawa, that college road.
Yeah, you're just mentioning my area.
Okay, so if you are free this evening, you can come. I will take you there.
Okay, I will be very free.
So I will take you there. You will see the project there.
Okay.
So we are going to launch it out very soon. That will take care of the people around that area.
Okay, quickly.
People, by 2+2 street.
Yeah, that's around Urura axis.
Then you go down. Yes, if you go down, you will see the renewable energy is working there. Okay. Now, the state government didn't stop there. We are expanding for Oshiomon. We are bringing new developers into this system so that every senatorial district will have their own power company. So with the new law, we are now to regulate the BEDC. We are now to support the BEDC. We are now to also partner with the BEDC. That is why Edo State is giving out. We are launching our mass metering project with BEDC this month. We are rolling out 500,000 meters for Edo people. All right? And at a very nice rate, so that everybody in Edo will have meters. That is our first initiative. Because the estimated billing must stop in Edo. That is what governor is saying.
It really needs to stop.
In my office right now, if you come to my office, you will see over close to 2,000 meters already in my office. So ourselves and the people, we are working out the rollout model, how we are going to distribute this meter. So everybody in Edo now have smart meters. Now, with the new electricity that just happened now, state government is putting up all the policies and laws that will help the new developers and new marketers to come into the system. Remember that the Iboba Dam project is there. Remember the new other generating companies like Azura and other generating companies are also here. Remember that we also have the one that is coming up now in Gelegele area. All right, that will do gas to power project. So we have a lot of developers and generating companies who are just signed up. They are ready to build. So it's a new law, and we are doing so much. We are ahead of other states in terms of this market and development. Apart from the Kiti and Ondo now that have gone ahead to even have their own state district, all right, which by the grace of God, before now to August, we are going to pass that district. I just
Okay.
came in now from Abuja. I'm flying back again so that we can finalize with the net on this same district project and how to generate power for Edo State.
All
But the
right.
three
Quick.
sources of power we are able to identify is the hydro, which we are working on, the Ojurami Dam and Ikova Dam, the renewable energy, which will be a community development structure that
Okay.
every community will have their renewable energy plants. Then the normal gas to power project that will support what Osomo is already doing.
All right.
So at the moment, Edo State is doing so much on the power sector.
Okay, so quickly, because you made mention of the Osiomo supplying somewhere around the University of Benin. Last week, exactly 1 week, okay, by tomorrow it will be 1 week exactly, we saw the protest that erupted from the student of the Great University of Benin. I remember when I was in that school, we could have uninterrupted power supply for like 48 hours, sometimes 3 days as at then. But the students are saying they don't have electricity to read and exams is around the corner. So is it that what is being supplied from the state generation is not getting to the campus? Because a campus is a community on its own and it's not supposed to be in darkness. So what really happened at the end of the day that made the students came out en masse for that protest? Is it that the BEDC couldn't generate and supply to the campus, or something went wrong at the point?
No, I would really appreciate the Vice Chancellor. She's a wonderful woman. She has reached out to the ministry and to the government. If you get close to the Uniben,
Yeah.
you will see that Osama stopped immediately before the Uniben.
Okay.
You will see a step-down transformer by the left-hand side. That is where Osama stopped at the moment, all right? Now, from that place, now we are trying to extend the power to that place. Apart from that, we are also trying to work with the Vice Chancellor and the university management to now create their own independent power plant. As I speak to you now, discussions are ongoing between the university team and the ministry and some of our partners. So we're already working on that. All right. So what we want to do is something that will be sustainable. Remember what happened in the military hospital around the
Airport Road?
The problem was the power problem, and the state intervened. And as I speak to you now, they are setting up their own mini bridge for them.
Okay.
The ISCH Area Specialist Hospital in Eastern Central, we got a report that they spent close to 37 million naira on energy. So what we need to do is to find a way to get in touch with them, and we are building for them at the moment. So the power sector in Edo State is seriously moving so fast, and a lot of interventions are coming in, and we're already discussing with these people at the moment. So between now to the end of this month and August, the solution for the Uniben campus will be provided. I assure you that.
All right, it's an assurance you just said that you assure me that, because definitely if it doesn't work as planned, we will still come back to talk about it here. So quickly, because we're pressed for time, we have less than 2-3 minutes to wrap up. Now, what can be done to avert this incessant national grid collapse 7 times within the space of 6 months? Okay, let's just say 7 months, because it happened last week, and last week is already July. So every month the grid is collapsing. Is it that we should experience more collapse in the next remaining month of the year, or something can be done to avert this incessant grid collapse that is now happening on a monthly basis?
No, as I told you before, a lot of upgrade is happening at the power sector, right, at the national grid. So expect stability soon. All right. So just expect stability and expect more results, more positive results from the federal government. I'll show you that. For the power sector, I can tell you the federal government is doing so much on the power sector. So whatever is happening there is to upgrade the existing infrastructure so that it will be sustainable. So what is happening there is not something that will happen every time. No, we are not expecting more of it to happen, but we expect more success to be recorded in that power sector. The minister is doing so well, and the president is doing so well as well.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner, for your time. I would really want to see what you said about my area, because when you mentioned that I drew my attention. That is where I stay. Okay, no problem. I really want to thank you. Thank you very much for your time, Honorable Commissioner. So I will let you go now so that you can attend to other issues in your office. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, it's been a great time talking to the Honorable Commissioner for Energy and Mining Edo State, Ujefo Inaholo, on the incessant power grid collapse Our grid collapsing for the 7th time in the 7th month of the year. It's worrisome. Honestly, it's really, really, really worrisome. I don't think any nation can thrive without stable electricity or stable power supply. So even if we don't get we're not asking for too much. Actually, we're not asking for 24 hours a day. Just give us max 15 or even 10. And some persons will say even if they see 5 in a day, no problem. But the truth is, the more you give electricity, the more we consume, the more we buy units, the more the government make money. It's a very simple mathematics. For instance, I buy 2,000 naira units in a month. If you did not give me electricity for 1 month, say constantly till the end of the month, my 2,000 naira unit will not be exhausted. It might stay for like 2-3 months. But if you give me electricity, I use, I exhaust it, I go back to buy, I'm pretty sure the distribution companies will make money, the government will be making money. So we just need a stable electricity for our economy to be stable as a nation. We're not asking for too much, just little. Give us max 20 hours out of 24 hours in a day. We'll appreciate it.